You're listening to KPFT. We are 90.1 here in Houston, Texas. If you're listening down in Galveston, pick us up at 89.5. Our friends up in Huntsville, Texas, East Texas, and beyond, 91.9. Catch us on our new location Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. on our HD2 channel, right here on KPFT. It is time for Songwriter Studio. I am your host, Tom Tranchilla, and we've got a jam-packed show for you this evening. We have an interview with our good old friend, Mike Darnell, who has a brand new album out, Tracks, followed up by Frank Douglas, who has a new record I'll be playing tracks off of. But before we get to that, I've got an old friend on the line right now, Mr. Jeff Abrams, singer-songwriter, flautist, mediator, house concert venue owner, and supporter of KPFT. All-around nice guy, Mr. Jeff Abrams. Welcome to the show again, Jeff.
Thank you for that fantastic introduction, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Jeff, you've been around for, we were just discussing off mic, both of us have lived here for between 40 and 50 years, I guess it's getting to, and know the city well, love the city, and you have been very much supportive of house concerts and opened up your doors for how many years now?
Well, this Saturday, October 11th, is going to be my 30th anniversary house concert.
30th anniversary of house concerts.
Yeah.
Not only are you bringing in a house concert, but the fantastic Del Castillo Trio. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, actually, a little while ago, I got a call from their agent the year before last, and she said, hey, how do you feel about having Del Castillo at your house concert? And I'd heard of them, and I'd say, how do I say no? So I had them a year ago, October, and the best way I can describe them is like having two Santanas and the lead singer for the Gypsy Kings. I've been fortunate over all these years to feel like at least every other house concert is the best I've ever had. And when they were here last October, it felt like the best I'd ever had, really. They're jaw-droppingly good. Their talent is unbelievable, and it's such an honor to have them back, to want to come back, and I'm excited to have them. This is sooner than I've ever had anybody back after having them the first time, but it's a great honor, and I'm real excited about having them and this quality of music for the 30th anniversary house concert.
Mark and Rick Del Castillo are brothers, flamenco and classically trained, but very contemporary styles, along with Alex Ruiz as the singer, and they are just so tight and so fantastic live. I am so happy that you're bringing them back. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make the show, but what a show it will be.
Yeah, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity, as you've done many times, to come on your show and tell folks about the house concerts. I know that has helped over the years. I've really appreciated the support, and I think it's part of what's allowed me to keep doing this for so many years, and hopefully for another 30 plus in the future is the plan.
Jeff, when is the show, and how can folks check into coming out?
Well, the show is Saturday, October 11th. We open the doors at 6. The opener comes on at 7. In fact, I have a little band here in Houston that I've recently been working with, and we're going to open. As I said, and I never do that. I don't think I've ever done that before. I played a little bit, but I've never had a band open. And as I said in my house concert invite, it's my party, and I'll play if I want to. It's the 30th anniversary. We're like herding cats, so it's next to impossible to get all four of us together. So who knows how it's going to turn out. Some of it should be really good. I'm really excited about that as well. And so we go on at 7, probably do about a half hour or so. And then Del Castillo Trio comes on at 8, and they do 2 sets till 10. And then after 10, I have all my musician friends sit around various parts of the house, jamming till the wee hours of the morning. I am usually disappointed if the jam doesn't go till 3. I was delighted when the last jam went till past 4. So if you've got an axe, bring it. And even if you don't, as I like to say, it's the second half of the party. And it's a truly unique experience that even non-musicians love.
I've experienced it myself, Jeff, and yes, the jams go on till the wee hours. If they want to go, how do they check into this?
Well, I don't have a website or anything like that, so they would best contact me, frankly, and I'll give you both my email address and my phone number. My phone number is 713-817-0001, 713-817-0001, and my website is Mediator7, that's the number 7, Mediator 7 at AOL.com. And I want you to know I'm not a dinosaur, I'm a trailblazer.
Jeff, thank you so much for coming out and letting these folks know about your house concert series. It's one of the best in town, hands down. I'm going to close this portion of the show out with one of my favorite Del Castillo songs called Talkin' to Ya, which really explores the explosive guitar work by the Del Castillo brothers. And then we're going to move on. Stick around. Mike Darnell has a brand new album out, Tracks. We're going to be talking to him and playing tracks off his new songs. So stick around. Up next, Mike Darnell. Thank you, Jeff Abrams, so much for joining us on Songwriter Studio.
Thanks for having me again.
Del Castillo talking to you. Again, we'll be at the Jeff Abrams House Concert Series. Up next, as promised, our old friend, Mr. Mike Darnell. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good, Tom. Thanks for having me on the show.
Welcome to Songwriter Studio. It's been a while since you've been on the show, and you've got a brand new album here in front of me, Tracks. Congratulations on putting out another quality product. Those of us that live and follow the acoustic scene in the Houston area are always pleased when Mike Darnell comes out with a new project.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a fun project, and, it really didn't have it was kind of nebulous at the beginning, but I think it worked out pretty well.
You know, Mike, you've had a long history of acoustic performing and writing here in the Houston area for quite some time. You were one of the big Lizard Boys and the Lizard Boys and Lisa. I think it was under two different names and conglomerates over the years. Followed up by the Hard Time Troubadours. J.B. Hop's House played weekly for long time, years. So you've got a lot of history here. And part of the Houston Songwriter Association. So let's go back to the beginning, the Big Lizard Boys. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it started at the turn of the century. That kind of tells you something, I guess. I met Bill Aspinwall and Mike Crippen at a leisure learning group called Song Circle, but it was called Guitar Circle, and formed a friendship there, and after a year or so, we formed the Big Lizard Boys and operated under that name for a number of years and playing over at the Vintage Bar and some other venues. And then we brought Lisa Canada in and made it the Big Lizard Band a few years later, and she stayed with us until we kind of hung it up. And then after that, Bill had gone on to play with the Troubadours, and I was kind of setting out just playing some solo gigs. And I think there was an opening with the Troubs, and Bob Yo asked me in, so I came in and was playing with Bill again and Bob Yo and a few other folks. That's kind of lasted through the years, so it's been a real good gig for me.
Yeah, and I may want to mention here that your lifelong career was actually a scientist. Why don't you let the listening audience know a little bit about your day job until you retired?
Yeah, I work in the oil industry, in the research end of things, kind of the upstream side, in the area of geochemistry. And my school background was in biology, but back during the oil boom, they were hiring left and right, and I managed to get on with one of the companies back then. And I managed to survive 30 years in the oil industry, so working as a research scientist. That was my day gig.
Whenever you bring up that word scientist, it catches the ears of those listening, and I've always known you to be an extremely intelligent human being, and I believe that says it all right there. And your songwriting, you bring some of this intelligent work into the lyrics of your songs. Your songs are always so clever, so well arranged and written, and compliments on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a real interesting journey and just a whole lot of fun. I've gotten so much pleasure out of it.
The name of the new album, Tracks, you did, most of this was recorded right there at your own Casa Mango Studios in Humble, but you brought the mastering over to Songbrush Sound. Our good buddy Lloyd Daniel, of course, did the mastering on this, and we were talking off mic of the old phrase, salt of the earth. I think that describes Lloyd Daniel the best.
That is Lloyd. Lloyd actually did the recording on The Promised Land, which was my first real studio album. Lloyd did the recording on that, and that's when I started my relationship with Lloyd. And so that was in 2008, and it's continued since then. And he is the salt of the earth. As we were talking earlier, I call him the Dolly Lloyd. He's such a fine person. He and Carol, and they're welcoming, and it was like a second home to me.
Absolutely, and I am blessed to have him as a neighbor and friend. So let's talk about track I've got queued up and ready to go, Blues Everywhere. I chose this to start the airplay just because it is so Mike Darnell. You really shine when it comes to acoustic blues. You added some harmonies in the background. I love this track. Give the listening audience a little background on Blues Everywhere.
Well, that's actually quite an old tune of mine. I wrote that back at the turn of the century, and it was just kind of sitting around not doing anything, so I kind of revived it and I recorded it and kind of liked what I did, so that's why I included it on this one. And yeah, it's I have a big focus on the blues. I love the blues, so that's kind of where it came from.
Off the brand new album Tracks, this is Blues Everywhere, brand new music, Mike Darnell.
Some people take a great big car. Some people take it near and far. Some people take an aeroplane, and some people take an old freight train. Some people, they don't really care. They take the blues everywhere. Some people play the game of life. Some people like to play with knives. Some people play the game of chance, and some people like to play romance. Some people, they don't really care. I play the blues everywhere. Some people like to sing real loud. Some people sing to great big crowds. Some people sing in rock and roll, and some people like to sing with soul. Some people, they don't really care. I sing the blues everywhere. Some people take electric car. I think it's more near than far. And some people take an aeroplane. Some people take it in the pouring rain. Some people, they don't really care. Take the blues everywhere.
Mike Darnell, Blues Everywhere. The name of the new record is Tracks. Great song, Mike. It's so Mike Darnell. You know, when you're playing these acoustic blues songs, nobody does it like Mike Darnell. It's easily recognizable as your composition, and I love the way you kept the album fairly stripped down. You don't have a lot of background noise, I might call it, from overproduced records that you often hear. What you hear off this record is what Mike Darnell sounds like live.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's talk a little bit about the next track I've got queued up, 1929 Martin. For those of us who have owned Martins or gravitated to songs like this about the history, the deep history of Martin Guitar Company, I remember Stephen Stills had a signature model made by the Martin Guitar Company, and he described it as the Stradivarius of acoustic guitars. And I've owned many in my day, all brands, and I still hold on to my 1990s model D28VR Martin, the Dreadnought. They're the king of the Dreadnought guitars. Tell us a little bit about 1929 Martin.
Well, interesting. You mentioned Stills and the Martins. Stills has been a great influence to me over the years, and his playing the Martin. When you're growing up, you want the same thing your idols are playing. So my goal was to get a Martin guitar somewhere along the line, and I was able to get a couple and have a couple. So, but this one in particular, the 1929 Martin, a good friend of my wife's passed away. I think it was 2019, and my wife pretty much handled his estate, and he left some items with her. One of those items, and we didn't know this until we actually opened the case, was a 1929 Martin. The model was 217, which is a little parlor guitar. Martin's first steel string guitar. It's in beautiful condition, wonderful condition. It needed a little bit of work, as any guitar approaching 100 years would probably need, but that's where it came from, and that's kind of the story that you'll hear in the song, and that's the story behind the 1929 Martin.
You've got Craig
Craig Van Amberg. Craig is my very best friend. I met him when I first moved to Houston in '68. We were high school buddies, guitar buddies. We talk music. You know how that is. We can get on the phone. We haven't talked in months, and we can start talking, and it's like we talked yesterday. But music is what we really connected on. And Craig and I attended a mandolin workshop last year, and I'm not a mandolin player. I hack away at it, and Craig isn't either, but we decided we would go to a mando workshop, and he got hooked on the mando. So when I was recording this, I said, well, I think that song needs a little mando, so I'll ask Craig, and sure enough, he joined in, and I was really pleased to have him do it. I think it really accents the song a lot.
Let's listen to that track right now, 1929 Martin, featuring Craig Van Amberg off of the brand new album, Tracks. This is Mike Darnell.
Was a 1929 Martin, made in Nazareth, PA, sold for $32.50 when they put it on display. It had a chipboard case and accessories, Martin's first steel string guitar, mahogany with rosewood trim, a beauty from afar. Sidney Roberts was the owner, born in 1929. Coincidence or twist of fate, their lives were intertwined. A birth guitar, they call it, when it shares your lucky year. Perhaps the bond was formed when that first note rang so clear. 1929 Martin, I bet she's seen sometimes. Jimmy Rogers played one way back in his prime. Now she's resting in my arms, a beauty to behold. Playing that 1929 Martin never does get old. Well, Sid, he passed some years ago. My wife and he were close. He left some items with her, and those things he cherished most. Imagine the astonishment, the wonder and surprise, when opening that chipboard case, the Martin filled our eyes. So now I have a girlfriend, I take her out to play. My wife is understanding in a special kind of way. There is no hanky-panky, although I hold her tight, playing songs and singing deep into the night. 1929 Martin, I bet she's seen sometimes. Jimmy Rogers played one way back in his prime. Now she's resting in my arms, a beauty to behold. Playing that 1929 Martin never does get old. 1929 Martin, I know she's seen sometimes. Jimmy Rogers played one way back in his prime. Now she's resting in my arms, a beauty to behold. Playing that 1929 Martin never does get old. Playing that 1929 Martin never will get old.
Mike Darnell, 1929 Martin, off the brand new album, Tracks. Let's jump into the next track I've got queued up, Mike. Murder of Crows. This is basically a 1960s style blues. Give the listening audience a little background on this track.
Well, I live out on Lake Houston now, so I have a real nice view of the lake from my back porch, and that's kind of where I spend the mornings if I have time. And so one morning I was out on the porch, and we have a line of trees down one side of the yard, and suddenly this group of flock, or whatever you want to call them, a murder of crows landed in the trees. You know, it felt a bit ominous, I guess, is how it felt. So I watched them. They stayed for a while, and they kind of moved around. They moved down to the porch part of the section of the house, and so I kind of built on that, and that's where the song came from. So it was just kind of an ominous feeling that I was having that day, so I put it into this little blues tune.
From the brand new album Tracks, this is Murder of Crows, Mike Darnell.
There's a murder of crow sitting in my tree, calling Anna John as the wind blows free. I'm looking for a body, but there's none to see. Cold black eyes staring back at me. There's a murder of crow sitting on my fence, flapping their wings so intense. The darkness rising from the effulgence, ain't scared of nothing, but I have a sense. Oh, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Wives and baby hunger, hear the belly moan. Take your troubles elsewhere, leave me alone. I may be living on borrowed time, still paying on the loan, paying on that loan. There's a murder of crow sitting on my porch, moving with the rhythm as I pass the torch, burning with the fire of a whiskey scorch, and chanting like a choir at a drunkard's church. There's a murder of crow sitting on my bed, all these visions running through my head, ain't going nowhere, fly away instead. Well, I may be getting old, but I ain't dead. Oh, fly away, fly away, fly away home. Wives and baby hunger, hear the belly moan. Take your troubles elsewhere, leave me alone. I may be living on borrowed time, still paying on the loan, paying on that loan. You better fly away home, leave me alone. Hear your wives and your baby moan.
Murder of Crows, Mike Darnell. Mike, you added a little jazz guitar in the background on this track.
Yeah. I'm not the lead guitarist by any means. I'm more a rhythm guy, but I wanted to put a little something in there, so that's how it came out.
What guitar did you use on this? I know you are a collector of guitars, so it was
that's I think it was a Telecaster. I used the Tele on most of these songs, so I'm pretty sure it was probably a Telecaster.
Let's talk about the next track I've got queued up. When I'm Dead and Gone. This is a very much traditional folk blues tune. You add some harp in this. I know you've been playing harmonica and did for a long time with the Troubadours. Give the listening audience a little background on this track.
Well, you're exactly right. This kind of back in the 90s, I started listening to acoustic blues, and of course that that leads you to the Delta blues and the old blues masters from that time. I don't know, maybe it was a Sunhouse tune or one of these other tunes. But anyway, I kind of got that feeling on some of these tunes. And so When I'm Dead and Gone came kind of from that time of my life. It kind of said, it was kind of a one-off. I didn't do anything with it until this album. And so I recorded it, a few months back, and I liked it. I liked the way it came out. So I wanted to include it on this album.
From the album Tracks, this is Mike Darnell, When I'm Dead and Gone.
When I'm dead and gone, please don't weep for me. Lay my cold, cold body beneath that cypress tree. My soul will rise above me. My body is the earth, and my maker will come forward, and he'll tell me just what I'm worth. Don't weep for me. Oh, please don't weep for me. Oh, please don't weep for me. Oh, when I'm dead and gone. I got thunder on my left, I got lightning on my right. My path it shall be narrow, and my day shall come from night. My sin shall be forgiven when all is said and done, and my burden will be lifted from here to kingdom come. Don't weep for me. Oh, please don't weep for me. Oh, please don't weep for me. Oh, when I'm dead and gone. Oh, when I'm dead and gone, please don't weep for me. Lay my cold, cold body beneath the cypress tree. My soul will rise above me. My body is the earth, and my maker will come forward, and he'll tell me what I'm worth. Don't weep for me. Oh, please don't weep for me. No, please don't weep for me. Oh, when I'm dead and gone. When I'm dead and gone.
Mike Darnell, When I'm Dead and Gone, off of his new album, Tracks. Mike, we're almost out of time. Do you have a website or contact information or social media you would like the listening audience to?
Well, I do have an email address I can give you. I'm not, I really don't have any, I'm not too active on the social media. I've never been too good on the self-promotion, so that's kind of a weakness I have. But anyway, an email address is blb_mango@yahoo.com.
One more time, a little slower.
B as in boy, L as in Larry, B as in boy, _mango, MANGO, @yahoo.com.
Thank you so much for being our guest on Songwriter Studio. Let's talk about the last track I'm going to spin. As you know, as an instrumentalist myself, I lean toward these instrumental tracks, and you knocked it out of the park with Goodbye Old Friend. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks. I've always tried to include, I think on most of my work on the albums, an instrumental And this one had been sitting around a few years. I wrote this back around the pandemic time, lost some friends, and then some friends were moving away, retiring, things like that. So it was just kind of one of those melancholy days when you just kind of noodling around on the guitar, and that came out. So that's kind of the story behind it.
Mike, we both used to hang out at JP Hop's house, and a big shout out to Pam Herndon and, of course, Jim for running that venue for a long time. We've met a lot of our current friends to date there at the Hops House. We sure miss that they had to close up due to the fire, and so many of these folks have either passed on or moved away, and very appropriate to put this song on the album.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's for sure.
You're going to be carrying hard copies when you get out to play, if folks wanted a hard copy of this.
Definitely, I will. I'll have copies with me, so be happy to share them with anybody that's interested in having one.
Thanks again for being our guest on Songwriter Studio.
Thank you, Tom. A pleasure.
Goodbye, old friend. Big thanks to our friend Mike Darnell for that interview. Up next on Songwriter Studio, I have a brand new album by Frank Douglas, new to Songwriter Studio. He has a new album out, Now What, sent to me by our friend Art Minius. He's got some great tracks on here. I'm going to start out with track number 1 off the album, Waiting for the Wind to Blow. This is a 60s, 70s sound. Christian Ward on fiddle doing some real tasty fiddle work, and Tracy Collins playing the B3 organ. Brand new music, Frank Douglas. Name of this track, Waiting for the Wind to Blow.
Got gas in the car, plenty of whiskey, hunkering down. Seems a bit risky, but I'm waiting for the wind to blow. Forecasts are wrong, so are the models, tracking the storm from inside a bottle. And I'm waiting for the wind to blow. Indecision, what you gonna do? Stay or leave, what's the right thing? Wish I knew. cut the tension, drink the dark and stormy for the apprehension down. I'm waiting for the wind to blow, climbing the walls, wish she would call me, just want a chance to tell her I'm sorry. And I'm waiting for the wind to blow, indecision, what's she gonna do? Stay or leave, what's the right thing? Wish I knew. Don't wanna hear myself say if only. Sometimes the world is just dark and lonely, and I'm waiting for the wind to blow, and I'm waiting for the wind to blow, and I'm waiting for the wind to blow.
Waiting for the Wind to Blow. Brand new music, Frank Douglas from it. And Now What? Some really tasty fiddle on that track by Christian Mord and Rocky Blaze playing that hot pedal steel guitar. Great track. Let's jump into the next track I've got queued up, Pickled Bologna. I just love the name of this. Again, Christian playing some great fiddle work on this. And Gavin Largent on dobro doing some real nice work. Let's listen to this track by Frank Douglas off of Now What? Pickled Bologna.
Open the jar, open your mind, stick your fork down in the brine. Have some adventure, don't be a phony. Swimming with the peppers and the mustard seed is all the protein that you'll ever need. Pink and delicious, pickle bologna. Some tastes are required, some flavors are wait and see. This recipe inspired hillbilly charcuterie. Tastes are required, some flavors are wait and see. This recipe inspired hillbilly charcuterie. Good on a cracker, good by itself, always good to keep a jar on the shelf. Serve to your neighbors, you'll never be lonely. If your jar is empty and you want some more, find it on the counter at the general store. Pink and delicious, pickle bologna. Pickle bologna. or bologna.
Frank Douglas from Now What? Pickled Bologna. Like I said, I like just saying the title of that song. Up next, I'm going to pick another track off that same record. The name of this track is Obstructions. It's got some really hot B3 organ by Tracy Collins on this. From the brand new album, Now What? This is Obstructions.
It seems as if my path is blocked. It's blocked with walls. They loom and trip my eager, hurried feet. They hide a face I deeply long to meet. Surprise me with some unexpected falls. Obstructions. I wish to move ahead, to reach some port. But when I start, I'm called to just maintain. How long to swim becomes a stinging rain. Each waiting line too long, each day too short. Obstructions. Pills and brush my aging teeth. I mop the spills and pull the climbing weeds. And I feed the dogs again. And I feed the birds. I wonder what is there beside beneath to keep me doing all these common deeds. Our boundary walls so real, or just my words? Obstructions. Obstructions.
Frank Douglas, the brand new album, Now What? This was recorded and mixed by Lon Williamson at Gatorbone Studios down in Tallahassee, Florida. Some great tracks off of this. I'm going to play another track off here. This one's a little tongue-in-cheek. Texas Swing, Rocky Blaze, doing some really hot pedal steel on this. Name of this track is Blue Balls.
my dreams, and I was the man who hung her moon. We had a chemistry that could not be denied. You could feel the pull from way across the room. We talked of happy little things. Flirtation has a language of its own. My skin began to tingle and my pulse began to race. Well, I wanted her and her all alone. Then the conversation turned to politics and the upcoming race. When I mentioned that I was a Democrat, well, I saw that look of scorn upon her face. And I've got blue balls and a red stain. Those patriotic colors love to fight. Blue balls and a red stain. It's gonna be a long election night. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. They say that opposites attract. My bleeding heart has closed another door. Now there ain't no room for me in that love shack. We could pretend we didn't know. Just close our eyes and let the deal go down. But I was never good at biting my tongue, so I'll spend the night alone in this redneck town. I've got blue balls and a red stain, but those patriotic colors love to fight. Blue balls and a red stain. It's gonna be a long election night. I've got blue balls and a red stain. Those patriotic colors love to fight. Blue balls and a red stain. It's gonna be a long election night. It's gonna be a long election night. It's gonna be a long election night.
Frank Douglas from the brand new album, And Now What? Little Texas swing out of Florida. This album was mastered by Peter Winter of Winterstone Productions. Again, I'd already mentioned it was recorded and mixed by Lon Williamson. A little help from his wife, Liz Williamson, on background vocals. Just a really tight record. I'm going to close this show out and this album out with one more track. The name of this track, No Sudden Moves. This is a blues jazz, very smooth song. Liz doing some wonderful backing vocals on this. Big thanks to our interview today with Mike Darnell, our good buddy. And please stick around. Up next, we've got Pan-African Journal with Akua. And we are coming up to our fall fund drive, so please help us out. Throw a few bucks towards Songwriter Studio. Until next week, Tom Tranchilla. Be safe, be kind.
Two herons at dawn, the dance has begun. A ballet of poses, moving as one. Are they related? Husband and wife, or just passing strangers? At dawn's early light, one flew away. Was it something I said? Maybe the reason is all in my head. Now we're alone, one heron and me, watching the sunrise, the edge of the sea. But it's so mesmerizing. Be still, my heart, struck with thought, such beauty and grace. The same kind of wonder when I look at your face. Women and birds are the same, I suppose. No sudden moves if you want to get close. Heard your voice up in a tree, a most beautiful angel smiling at me. My heart in my throat, what could I say? Outspilled I love you, then you flew away. But it's so mesmerizing. Be still, my heart. You stand in a world that's under your eye, but I am the danger that tells you to fly. Try to be cool, to stay on your toes, no sudden moves. Want to get close. Kicking myself, when will I learn? No sudden move, now she'll never return. I lost my chance, now that she's gone. I'm left here watching two herons at dawn.